All right, Predator fans, we got a brand new release from Neca. I did a reveal video about this assassin predator. I'm sorry, the armored assassin predator. And there was a lot of people interested, so I figure let's take a look at it in the review room. We don't do many reviews, but the Predator is my all-time favorite creature design from Hollywood. Here's how he looks. He's got this tint of green with the red. Again, this is when he has that organic armor that comes out of his body somehow in the movie. The movie might not be the greatest, but again, the Predator design is my favorite. And here's how he stands next to the Fugitive Predator that's in the movie. Massive difference. And he's got awkward legs, but I am shocked how easily he stands up. I also put a 1/6 scale wolf predator kind of in the frame so you get an idea of size. This wolf predator is 14 inches, so and he's on a base. So I think total he's about 15 inches. This guy ranges just under a foot. I think the assassin predator is about 11 inches exactly, something like that. But we'll look at his detail. Here's his box real quick. His box art is pretty awesome. You got him fighting, I think that's concept art of him fighting the Fugitive Predator. Neca started with these cardboard tabs. I think some people are going to really like these tabs compared to the plastic ones that just fell off for those of you who display these on your wall. I don't think this is going to do well with one of these tabs though, because this figure is heavy. He's definitely heavy, and he's twice the price of a regular Neca. A regular Neca Predator's around $22 to $30 depending. This guy is 50 bucks. If you get him on Amazon, it's $15 shipping. If you get him off of eBay, it is $10 shipping. So another thing, when he comes out of the package, his head is smashed. All these little spikes in his dreads. I want to make sure I get them on camera. On top of his dome, you get those four or five spikes here. Well, two of the front were smashed in completely. And it looked terrible, but the alternate head comes clean in a little section. And the alternate head is perfect, so I was just going to switch the heads. But I hit this with a hot blow dryer. And don't touch anything. If you hit it with a hot blow dryer, everything kind of just corrects itself. I'm not sure how many people are going to be reviewing this figure. I would imagine quite a bit. But I'm a big Predator fan. I promised we would take a look at it. So we'll take a look at his face, his body, his articulation a bit. I'm not like a pro figure reviewer. So we'll take a look at him a little bit. And if a more experienced figure reviewer puts him up, you guys can check him out. Now, the head's got some good movement up. I think some incredible movement there. You got up, you got down, you got some side to side. Trying to be careful not to bang these quills around. Quills on top of his dreads. Now, his shoulder has this plastic, this soft rubber, I would imagine, right here. And you got to get it to go over the hard rubber or the hard plastic of his body. I believe it should snap up too. Yeah, there we go. So it goes up all the way. And again, you got to get it over that lip. Hit it with a blow dryer if it's giving you problems, but it should mess around with it a few times. It should fall into place. And it's soft, so it goes right back into place. His arm is double jointed. And again, nice and stiff. He has some detail on his wrist gauntlet. He's got some plugs. We'll get to that in a second. And his wrist hinges up and down. He doesn't have a lot of color in his fingers. However, there's a slightly different shade on some of the knuckles. I really wish there was a little bit more color definition in there. Anyway, same thing with the other arm, same type of articulation. He has really good articulation in his waist. He gets a good amount of crunch. You can get a good hunch with this guy. and he goes back a good amount, as well as his actual midsection, I should call it. His actual waist has a good amount of swivel. Yeah, it just swivels. It has a little rock to it as well, actually. Anyway, his legs, that's where it gets a little different. You got these gears that sound like the quarter scales where they snap. His hip can rotate. Here's where it snaps though. Those are those stiff gears, so you can put him in a position without him falling over. They're not going to loosen up on you. I have a lot of quarter scales. Well, not a lot. I got like 3 of them from Neca that sit really well with those gears. They're still solid after a few years. Here's the problem area. This leg bends, part of the knee bends rather easily. However, this one here will not bend at all. I even heated it. I warmed it up with the blow dryer. I got this one to bend once. I doubt I'll be able to get it to bend again. Yeah, okay. So it did bend again. But this one, for the life of me, I cannot get that to loosen up. It'll swivel. I believe this just pops right out. I just don't want to put any pressure on it. But you could see the amount of articulation you can get if you can get yours to bend. I would recommend heating it up though, because it did give me some problems. Anyway, we have some weird foot articulation, and this isn't Neca's fault. This is how they designed them, and that's for like maybe if his back foot is back all the way like that. And then he also has this toe articulation that is pretty crazy. Let me see. Okay, it does bend down more. And again, it's real stiff. All the articulation is real stiff. So you can get it into funky positions that makes it look like he shouldn't even be able to stand right. But again, this is for if he's in different fighting stances. I don't know how the hell you're going to display yours, but I'm just going to stand him there, so I'm not really worried about it. But if you are interested in getting something dynamic, I don't know what you plan on doing with yours, but he will definitely do something dynamic. Now let's look at his face. Here's the closed mouth that we've been looking at. And again, just identical to the Predator from the movie, the Assassin Predator. I have a habit of moving these guys a little too fast, so if I'm going a little too slow right now, it's just so you guys can get a good look. And let's pop on his alternate head. All right. I do think this guy, for his size, yes, that's why he is pretty expensive compared to the other Necas. However, I think it would have been a perfect bundle, a perfect package, if he came with the severed Fugitive Predator head. Now, here's the thing. If they release a version of this Predator, if he sells well, the Assassin Predator, that's not armored, then I can see them sticking the decapitated head of the Fugitive in it to give you a little extra incentive. But this face is friggin' awesome. Again, he's got roaring hands here, so you can set up something good. Maybe with the other figure, he has that mandible that's shot off. Doesn't he get one shot off, like the lower one? I don't know. I'm pretty sure he does, or at least he gets shot in it. I know that much. Anyway, so there's the alternate head with his accessories. With his accessories, we get 2 closed fist hands. I was going to say, I like how it looks like the classic Predator. I love that look. With the thumb out. The Fugitive didn't come like that. He came with like a human hand. I always love the classic look. But anyway, you get 2 of them. So you can do 2 fists. And then you get this little laser plasma cannon. You're going to peg it right here. I don't know if I'm doing that right. Hold on. All right, it'll have a guide. Just remember, the one loop of the wire goes on the bottom of the left, and then the other one goes on top on the right, behind the plasma caster, or the wrist blaster, whatever you want to call it. But it jumps on, clips on just like that. It is hard to get a focus on just the wrist gauntlet there, but it clips on just like that. And then there's a little nub. If you don't want it on, you put this little nub on instead. So I imagine you just stick a little nub on. Am I going the wrong way with it? Yeah, I say put this little piece in a bag and leave it there. That little nub goes in just like that. And I don't even know if it sticks up a whole lot. Yeah, don't even stick up a whole lot, but I can see that piece getting lost, boy. If you drop that off your shelf and vacuum, it is gone. It plugs in there nice enough. And his other arm comes with his blade. You just, wow, that went in a lot easier than the Fugitive Predator. The Fugitive Predator one was a pain. I actually super glued the one that came with my Fugitive Predator. Okay, how do we do this without making him look like a douchebag? All right, so there's his huge blade that he shoots out and literally tears a military guy in half, and buckets of Kool-Aid blood fly all over the place. You guys remember that scene? Yeah, so the Armored Assassin Predator, looking friggin' incredible. I like the color, the paint, a little stiffness with some of the joints. His size is what really matters, though. You got that color and paint work. What is going on here? The size is really the determining factor for that price. Really kind of wish he came with just one more accessory. Again, the ripped Predator face. You don't even need to do detail. Just have a bashed in Predator head. You know what I mean? Like really mashed in. That's another thing with these NECA things. What's with little pieces of hair? I mean, it's just, I don't know if it's fabric from gloves or something when they're handling some of these, you know, to not get fingerprints in it. I'm not sure. It's all plastic, so why do you have these little pieces of hair? All right, he's going to be tricky to stand, but you can actually get him in some stances. I lied to you. I know he's going to fall over. Take two. You know what? NECA created him. It's up to you to figure out how you're going to display him. You can get these little Neca Stands, and they got holes on their feet. All the Predators and NECA figures, they got holes on their feet. You can just plug one of these stands up. They are very, very useful. Here's a little look at his feet and leg design, his coloring. I don't think I even showed off his clothes or whatever. Little flap. His ass flap. I'm not even sure why he's got just one thigh guard. Not really sure about that. He's too cool to have two of them. Is it just style? Looks great though, the way it's painted and sculpted and everything. It looks fantastic. Yeah. There's no way I can't give this one a recommend. If you're a Predator fan and into getting something to display, and if you're a NECA Predator collector, you're getting this without even watching this review. There's no way you won't. He's one of the unique Predators. I can see this guy being one that is like a holy grail for some. Because again, I don't think they're gonna, because of this movie, I don't think they're gonna restock him or re-release him often. He's probably just getting this one release for the next few years, to be honest. So unless they make a version that's not armored. So again, go ahead and grab them. That size comparison though. Yo, he's so friggin' huge. So there was some fans wondering what the the biggest difference in price being is, and it's got to be this. I mean, look at the size of this guy. This guy on the right, look at the size of him compared to a standard NECA Predator. He's the biggest one they make. Again, unless you go for the quarter scale. I'm not thrilled about the look of the 2018 Predators, either one of them, as far as like compared to the classics. Wait, hold on. As far as compared to the classics. However, having different varieties, if it's what we have to get, I still love the design of the Predators, and these look fucking awesome. Anyway, I'm going to display him with the other Predators and give this guy a high recommend. So put your thoughts and opinions in that comment box. Thanks for stopping by the review room, and don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out.